So Uranus is in the last degrees of Taurus right now in Western astrology, and it enters Gemini on July 8th. So anything that Uranus is the planet of unpredictability and unsettlement and shatterings and changes, but being in Taurus, it's been shattering up what is not valuable to us. It's shaking up anything that keeps us from manifesting what the truth from within is. It's shaking up anything that's keeping us from our true talents. And going into Gemini is going to start shaking up the way we communicate with each other in Western astrology. So, right now, we're finishing up what is valuable to us. And anything that has been taken away from us in the last few years, as essential as you thought it was, you'll find that it was not. Because Uranus does not take anything away that is not important, that you really absolutely need. Even if you've been totally devastated, you find that there's a way, if you have the strength of your soul energy to pull you through, it will open up doors that you never thought would open before. In true sky astrology, Uranus is at 0 degrees Taurus. So it's going to, from now until 2032, in true sky astrology, Uranus is going to help us establish what our true talents are, what we really value, because everything that has in the last few years in Western astrology, all those old programs have been, like shaken up. And now we are going to go into the next stage up until 2032 to develop those talents. It opened up a doorway for us to be able to do that. In Western astrology, Pluto is in the beginning sides of Aquarius. And since 2008 to this moment, just the past month, Pluto has been in Capricorn. So all like we've gone over this and over this, all the old structures, the gigantic mega structures that have ruled our society, have been gone through death, and they're going it's in hopefully it's a time of going into rebirth. There are going to be children and star seeds that are going to come forward to rebuild our educational system, rebuild our medical system, rebuild our governments, rebuild our environment. From now in 2000 till 2040, all of that is a possibility. There's just so much happening. So from now until 2044, in Western astrology, Pluto will be in Aquarius. So, what it's going to do is there will be a death and rebirth, how we relate to each other and our unique patterns of each other. Is going to bring technical intelligence to the forefront. And we are going to make choices of how we want to interact with that. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but Pluto in Aquarius is going to be doing that. It it rules Aquarius. It has to do with our unique talents. So anything that is keeping us from our unique talents, how we interact with each other as human beings, All of that is going to be, how we are not compassionate with each other, how we are not using our intuition. All of that is going to go through a process of death and rebirth. We're going to start trusting ourselves because we're going to find out that there's going to be major things happening that we have had inklings of making choices with, and we didn't make that choice. And then again, we get to do it all over again. I mean, because if first we don't succeed, we try again. May take a couple times, but because we have this conditioned patterning within ourselves, Pluto in Aquarius is going to break up how we relate and respect each of us as human, of our human family. I think racial and differences, I am hoping that that will change where we will start all respecting each of the races for who they are and what they have to offer. So Jupiter is going to expand more in true sky astrology, not true sky, in Western astrology, is going to bring home how important our family is, how important our foundations are, how important it is to nurture ourselves with quality food and quality supplements and quality environment. All of that is going to be important for the next 2 years because then in true sky astrology, Jupiter will go into Cancer in 2026. Well, so we have 2 years to expand our truth in what kind of foundation we want to lay in our nurturing environment of nurturing us as human beings and those around us. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Pluto, at this point in true sky astrology, is at the same position as it was in 1777. And the reason I'm bringing that up is that I'm thinking that there might be a little chaos before we get to the peace that we're going towards. And the only way that we can get through this, and I think Christina brought this out, I know not last Thursday's chat, but the chat before, that as much as we are starting all these new energetic interactions with our heliosphere, as much as we're going through all of that, the sun's transformation that it's been going through has helped us upgrade. And we're going to be able to tolerate this chaos in ways that if we were told it was going to happen, we would probably have a reaction. But when it happens, as we go through it, we are going to handle it in a much more truthful way in our connection with our heart, a much more authentic way. And I think we had we had a great practicing session in 2020. And many of us at that time did not listen to our intuition about what was happening. And many of us went into survival mode. I mean, it was a very, very challenging time. But I think from that experience, we have learned really, really, really to trust our heart in a whole different way. So we are on the cusp of the Aquarian age. I mean, I don't think it just doesn't happen. 1 year, the Aquarian age happens. It happens gradually. It's kind of like, a big rainstorm is happening, and you can smell the rain. You can smell it off in the distance, and then all of a sudden the wind comes through, and then the rain comes. But that wind is what that is the rain pushing the air forward before the rain comes. So that's where we're at. We're in that, the smelling the rain, smelling that Aquarian age before it happens. We're in the transition of that. And we're in the process of imagining it into being. We're imagining Homo Luminous into being. And that is a theme of this year, using your imagination